Hi guys! I don't usually wear my glasses in these videos, but I'm going to be reading, so I had to put them on for you tonight. Well, tonight is the night before my surgery. Finally. I can't believe it. And so I have a little bit of time before I go to sleep, and so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of do the top 10 things that I won't miss about being fat, and then also things that I'm looking forward to. I have just a list of things that I've been jotting down over the last few days, and I actually have not read over the list, and I haven't numbered the list. I don't know if I have 10 or if I have, I don't know. I mean, it almost looks like 10. I don't know what I have. I'm tired, it's late, and so I don't care enough to try to organize it because it's just taking everything that I have to do this video. I have a headache. I'm hungry. So I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to start off with things I won't miss about being fat. I'll just say that. I don't know how many there are going to be, and I'm not going to count them. Actually, the very first thing that came to me today was that I've already started to forget how I felt at the beginning of this journey. I started all of this in May of this year. And I weighed around 287 at that time, or 286.8 is actually what I weighed. And I remember that I had a hard time walking up and down the stairs in my house. And I would always be breathing heavy. And I would always ask myself, why in the world did I buy a house with stairs in it in the first place? And I just recently realized that I'm not huffing and puffing as I'm walking up my stairs. It's really not that much of a big deal. Now it does hurt my, in previous videos I've talked about my bone spur that I have on my ankle, which is very painful all the time. So walking up the stairs, it doesn't hurt any more to walk up the stairs than it does for me to walk anyplace else. I'll just say that. I'm constantly in pain because of the bone spur, and so now I'm just not exhausted or anything like that from walking up the stairs. So one thing that I won't miss is not being able to walk upstairs, being tired from walking up the stairs, breathing heavy, and being at the bottom of the stairs and wishing that what I needed wasn't at the top. So I'm definitely not going to miss that. The other thing that's already becoming a distant memory is not having the energy to do several things in one day. It used to be that if I worked, by the time I got off of work, I was so exhausted that maybe I could do one more thing if I'm lucky. But oftentimes I didn't do anything at all, and I would save everything until my days off. And then on my days off, I still couldn't do very many things without just getting exhausted. And now I'm amazed at the number of things that I can get done in a day. And I am, tired, but I still did all of those things. And I imagine as I lose more and more weight, by the end of the day, I might not even be tired after doing all of these things. So I won't miss not being able to do very many things in the course of a day. I won't miss spending my whole day or whole evening sitting on the couch. I'm already forgetting what that feels like, and I'm glad. In case you're new to my channel, I had a 6-month supervised weight loss, and this is actually my 7th month that we're in right now. And so far I've lost about 35 pounds. Tomorrow when I weigh myself, I'm going to do another video on the day of surgery, and I'll tell you the exact numbers. But, just losing 30-something pounds has made a big difference already in everything. And I don't want to forget how it felt to not be able to do things and to not be able to walk up the stairs. So let's see what else. Oh, feeling like an old woman. I mean, I'm 45 years old, and a lot of the times I feel like I'm 80. I don't know what 80 feels like, but walking around moaning and groaning and, walking slowly, and my back hurts and my joint hurts and just complaining like I'm an old lady. I will not miss that. I can't wait. Once again, already, that is clearing up a lot. I can't wait until I feel more like my age, or actually younger than my age. Getting tired after a shower. Do you remember that? I remember, because once again, hey, this is starting to fade away, but I remember when taking a shower was a chore. By the time I got out of the shower and dried my entire big body and, made sure that all the folds were dry and then put lotion on, because I have really dry skin, I would be tired. I would be exhausted. Sometimes after doing that, I would sit down on the bed to rest. That hasn't been happening lately, and so I'm not going to miss getting tired after taking a shower. Let's see. Oh, this one a lot of people say, not fitting into chairs or being afraid of breaking chairs. I have broken chairs before. It's not just a myth. I really have done it. And not fitting into chairs. My friends know that when we go someplace, I'm always looking for the chairs that don't have handles, because usually they're not going to be wide enough if they do have a handle, so I want the chairs without a handle. I still remember that I had this interview once where we had been, walking around the pharmacy. I'm a pharmacist, so it was it was an interview in the pharmacy. So we had walked around the pharmacy for the first part of my interview. And then for the second part of the interview, we walked into the guy's office. And so I could, he sat behind his desk, and then I sat at the chair in front of his desk. The chair was this small chair that had arms. And luckily he wasn't watching me. I think he might have pointed me into his office and said, can you sit in the chair I'll be in a second? I think he was taking care of something in the pharmacy. And so so I walked in and I tried to sit in the chair and I could not fit into the chair. And so then I'm like looking around, there was no other chair in his office. And so I had to squeeze myself into this chair, which I barely was able to do before he came back into the room. And then during the whole interview, I was sitting there in pain. And then also in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, am I going to be able to get out of this chair? Because, it's like when I stand up, is the chair going to stand up with me? Now, actually, I don't either remember that part, so I must have been able to get out of the chair okay, because, this was maybe 10 years ago, but I still remember how horrible it felt, and it still has been a fear in my mind that it could happen again, that I could have no choice except for to squeeze into this chair that's too small. Yeah. And kind of along the same thing is fitting into chairs at concerts or shows or theaters where sometimes they have really small chairs, or, encroaching onto the chairs on the other side of you. I don't want my bulk to spread out of my chair and have to touch the person next to me. I won't miss that, and I can't wait until I don't have to deal with that again. I avoid a lot of concerts and things just because of that, because the chairs are too small for me. I won't miss being the largest girl in the room. I always, whenever I enter a room, for some reason, look around to see if I'm the biggest person. And I almost always am. I won't miss that. The seatbelt extender thing that everyone talks about, I fly maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And it's funny because there are people who weigh a lot more than I do and they say they never needed a seatbelt extender. I don't understand that. I guess it depends on the airlines that we fly because probably about 50% of the time I need a seatbelt extender. It happens all the time. And even though it happens all the time, I'm still embarrassed by it, and I get panicky about it, and days before the day that I have to fly, most of the time I wake up feeling sick to my stomach, just because of the thought of having to, or also if I'm traveling by myself, not knowing who I'm going to be sitting next to, because once again, I'm going to be encroaching on the seat next to them. And then the seatbelt thing, it's just always so stressful to me flying. And so I can't wait until losing my train of thought. So that's something that I won't miss about being fat. There we go. Feeling tired all the time. Yeah, I already said that. Let's see. Oh, not wanting to bend down to pick up something? Yeah. I'm getting much better with that one too. Most of the time I just leave it on the floor, but now I'm getting much better at being able to just bend down and pick up things that I've dropped. Public bathrooms. Some of those public bathrooms are so tiny. And one time I actually got stuck in an airport bathroom because I had my carry-on bag with me. So I was able to, get into the stall with my carry-on bag and then close the door. I could barely even maneuver enough to sit on the toilet. And then when I was done, because the door swings inward, I could not figure out how to get out of the bathroom because there was no way that I could maneuver my carry-on plus myself to get out of the stall. And so what I did was, what did I do? I think I had to push my carry-on. I think I had to push my carry-on down onto the floor and slide it under the door first and then open the door. Something like that. Actually, I don't remember. I just remember how mortified I was that I was stuck in this bathroom. And I thought, how long am I going to be stuck in this bathroom? How am I going to get out of the bathroom? How am I going to be able to ask for help? Or did I have to lift up my carry-on and set it on top of the toilet and then open the door and then hope that there was no one on the other side of the door? I think that's what I did. I think I tried to slide my carry-on under the door, but it wasn't going to fit under the door because the doors don't go down pretty low. And so I tried that and it didn't work. And I had to set my carry-on on the toilet so that I could open the door and escape out of the stall. So I will not miss things like that happening because I am fat. Let's see. Yeah, I won't miss wondering if my weight is the reason why certain things happen to me, or like if I don't get a job. I don't think that all the time, but occasionally, if I know that I'm very qualified for the job, and also if I happen to know who else interviewed for certain jobs, it's like, why didn't I get the job when I know that I'm probably the most qualified person? Why didn't I get the job? And there is one instance where I pretty much know for sure that I did not get the job because of my weight. I'm not going to go into that story right now. It might be something I tell later. I don't know. But, I won't miss that. Once I'm a normal size, everything, I don't have to suspect that my weight is the reason for everything. And I'll know for sure that whatever is happening is just due to me, my personality, or my qualifications. And it has nothing to do with how much I weigh. I won't miss, so I'm not one of those people. I don't care for roller coasters, so I don't care that I can't ride a roller coaster right now. But I do care about the fact that there are weight limits for other things that I'm not able to do. I would like to go horseback riding one day. I've never done that. And a few years ago, I went to Alaska. I went on an Alaskan cruise, and I couldn't ride the helicopter. They had a lot of excursions where you would ride the helicopter and land on a glacier or do the dog sledding, but they all required you to get on a helicopter first to get there. Well, I couldn't do that because I didn't meet the weight limits for the helicopter. So I won't miss my weight keeping me from being able to do things that other people can do. I don't know why this isn't telling me how long I've been talking. Usually there's a timer on here and I don't see anything. So I'm going to pause this for just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That's going to be it for the things that I won't miss about being fat. I want to move on to the things that I'm looking forward to. So of course I'm looking forward to the opposite of all those things that I mentioned. But more than that, I'm looking forward to being more confident. I hesitate all the time and I'm unsure of myself all the time because I mentally hold myself back and allow my weight to hold myself back. And so I can't wait to be more confident. I can't wait to be able to walk without pain. I really hope that this losing the weight is going to help that. Now, it's possible that it's not going to help it and that the only thing that I can do is surgery. But I'm hoping that losing this weight is going to help me be able to walk without being in pain, help me get back to walking for exercise, and then also like for 5Ks, walking and running 5Ks. You know, I can't believe that there would ever be a time in my life where I'm jealous of people working out. I mean, that's ridiculous that I'm, jealous of people walking and jealous of people talking about 5Ks and things. I never ever thought that that would happen to me. But yeah, I'm jealous. I wish that I could move. I wish that I could walk. I wish that I could participate in, Watch Kitty Shrink's challenge. But because of where my bone spur is, even riding a bike, even getting on the elliptical, all of those things still flex my ankle, and it's still extremely painful for me to do those things. So I'm looking forward to not being in pain anymore. I'm looking forward to taking a bath in my bathtub and not having the water overflow and being able to have more of my body under the water. I purchased this house about 1.5 years ago, and it has one of those nice garden tubs, so I can fit in the tub, but still, I would be a lot more comfortable if I was smaller. And so because of that, I've only taken one bath in that tub, but I'm looking forward to lots of other baths in my bathtub. I'm looking forward to being able to actually wear the robe in a hotel room or wearing the spa robes. I often get massages at other places, at spas, and I always hate having to ask for an extra large robe because usually, they already have the robes in the lockers, and they're just large or regular size robes. Well, I can't wait until I can actually wear the robe that is in the closet. And there are some spas that I went to that didn't even have extra large robes, so I would have to cover up with a sheet. Whereas everyone else is walking around with towels and I'm walking around with a sheet. Or I'm in a robe and then they give me a towel so that when I sit down, I can cover up where the robe is actually opening up because it's too small. Yeah, that's really embarrassing. I'm looking forward to actually being able to fit more things into my suitcase because my clothes are smaller. Like I said, I travel several times a year and I like traveling with my carry-on. And so the smaller I am, the smaller my clothes are and the more outfits I can squeeze into my carry-on. So I can't wait to be able to do that. I can't wait to be able to wrap myself in a normal towel. I can't even remember the last time I've ever been able to do that. I can't wait to be able to wear, more fashionable clothes, more girly clothes, more, I like those little slip dresses. I don't know what they're called, but, because I live here in Arizona and it's hot, I want to be able to just throw on one of those cute little dresses that just a little bit of material and be able to walk around in these little dresses. That's one of my fantasies. I love that carefree look of just wearing those dresses. So I can't look forward. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really just looking forward to accomplishing something that I have tried so many years to accomplish. When you fail again and again and again at the same thing, even if it wasn't my weight, even if it was something else, failing over and over and over again, that does something to you mentally. And that's how I feel about my weight. I've given it a really good try, I've lost over 100 pounds before. I've lost 50 to 60 pounds, maybe 3 or 4 times. And then less than that, even countless more times. How many times I lost 20 pounds or 15 pounds? So many times. And then to gain it all back over again, over and over and over again. When everything else in my life, all the challenges that I've been through, I've been able to overcome them, except for this one. And so already I feel a sense of relief and happiness at the idea that I have finally figured out what I need to do and that I'm taking this step. And I'm proud of myself for taking this step, for having this surgery, for finally taking care of this problem that's just eluded me for so many years, really for most of my life, because I've been overweight my entire life, and even as a teenager, I was one of those people who was always on a diet. I'm 45, so it's been a very long time that I have been trying to lose weight, and now that I'm finally going to be on the right track, the track that is actually going to work this time, that's exciting. I am so excited. And when I actually achieve this, I have no idea what it's going to feel like. The weight that's going to be off my shoulder. Once again, the confidence that I'm going to have in myself that finally I was able to do something that I've been trying to do for all these years. I can't even begin to imagine how that's going to feel. And so this video is getting late, so I am going to go ahead and say goodnight to you guys. I'm going to get to sleep. And because my surgery is later in the day, it's at 2:30, but I have to be at the hospital at 12:30. But the hospital is only 15 minutes away. So I have time to sleep in, and then I'm going to get up and weigh myself and do my measurements and maybe take some pictures for a day of surgery pictures. And, and I'm going to do a video. I don't know yet what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to do another video for you guys on the day of my surgery. So, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!